We're about to fly two airlines nobody talks about. It's practically like buying a ticket on your own private jet. No crowds, zero hassles, private airports. Join us to find out how you can fly like a celebrity for a day.
Hello, jet setters. I'm Jeb Brooks from greenergrass.com. We're about to check out two secret airlines, and you're coming along.
They may feel like private jets, but anyone can buy a ticket. Keep watching to find out how much we paid.
It is great to be in Los Angeles, but I think we want to fly to Las Vegas for lunch.
Which sounds like a hassle, but we're going to skip all the painful parts. No TSA, no waiting in the airport for hours, no crowds, none of that. We're going to show you how to skip everything that's painful about flying.
Here's the plan. First, we'll fly from Nuys Airport in Los Angeles to Las Vegas with Aero. We'll have a nice lunch there before coming back, this time on JSX to Hollywood Burbank Airport. One of the differences between major airlines and these is where they operate. We're not flying from large commercial terminals today. Instead, these airlines use their own private terminals. And while you can show up here only 20 minutes before departure, we arrived early to check out the space. And there's plenty to see, including fresh baked goods and loads of drinks too, but you can barely call it check-in. We just sat down, a staff member checked our IDs, and moments later we got boarding passes. But how's that allowed? Stay tuned for more about how these airlines are able to operate like this and the controversy surrounding it. But now, it's time for champagne. Even the bathrooms are loaded down with amenities. Aero's limited route network seems focused on sun and ski destinations, but they've also just launched a transcontinental route to New York. 5 minutes before departure, we were escorted out to the ramp, where we spotted our 24-year-old Embraer E135. You don't see many airplanes covered in black paint because it adds additional weight, which requires more fuel to operate, but despite that, Aero appreciates just how cool it looks. Snacks in the front row, newspapers too, and supremely comfortable seats wrapped in cushy Italian leather.
Wow. Incredible.
With only 16 seats on an aircraft designed to carry 37, that means we've got a whopping 43 inches of pitch. We were greeted on board with a welcome splash of Veuve Clicquot and a caviar bite. Oh, and there's no pre-flight announcement from the captain. Instead, he came around to each passenger for a personal briefing. Our flight time today? A quick 43 minutes. As we made our way out to the runway, we both settled in to read the menu. That's something you don't see every day. A menu on a 43-minute flight. And while I was disappointed that the playing cards were not available in this flight, I still enjoyed the views. Nuys Airport is one of the busiest general aviation airports in the country. It's home to many celebrity jets and, well, our semi-private one, but not for long. As Nuys faded into the background, we caught a glimpse of Burbank, where we'll be landing this evening. The Los Angeles area is full of airports. Charging points at every seat, of course, and some of the fastest Wi-Fi in the sky. On our flight today, there were only 6 passengers in the 16 seats on board. Another glass of Veuve Clicquot? Yes, please. On longer flights with Aero, you'll see more options when it comes to food, but I was not about to turn down the overnight oats, with real cutlery, by the way. This had far more flavor and, frankly, nutritional value than most of what you'll find to eat in the sky these days. We still need to tell you what all this costs and show you a whole nother airline, JSX, but first, let's rate Aero using the JebScore. We'll consider the lounge, the seat, the food, the in-flight entertainment, and the service. Without views of the ramp, Aero only earns 4 stars for their lounge, but let's face it, you don't need to spend much time here. Just show up right before boarding and you're good. The seat is fantastic, 5 stars here. The food on board was impressive for such a short flight and earns 5 stars. That Wi-Fi is super impressive, 5 stars here too. And finally, service was great, smooth, friendly, quick, 5 stars here. That leaves Aero with 24 out of a possible 25 stars. But Aero isn't the only game in town. Let's grab some lunch and then check out their biggest rival, JSX.
We've made it to fabulous Las Vegas. What'd you think?
That was just straight up fun.
It was. The service was incredible. The flight attendant was awesome. But being served what amounted to a meal on a 45-minute flight, I mean, come on, that just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, to get to feel like a celebrity with your own private jet for 45 minutes, so cool.
We'll take it. But for now, let's grab some lunch here in Las Vegas. Then we've got to make our way back to LA, this time with JSX.
We love Las Vegas, and Chef Jose Andres' Mexican-Chinese fusion at China Poblano was perfect. The dim sum, Mongolian beef, and 20 vegetable fried rice did the trick today. But of course, all good things must come to an end to make room for more good things. So let's head back to the airport. JSX has a much larger operation than Aero's, which means their private terminal is also bigger here in Las Vegas. Just as with Aero, you can check in for your flight here as little as 20 minutes before departure. And also, just like that last flight, there's no TSA screening. But how is this even possible? Well, you see, airlines in the United States are governed by the FAA, and most of them operate under a set of regulations called Part 121. It outlines requirements for commercial airlines, including the requirement for TSA screening of passengers and crew. But there's another section of regulations called Part 135 for so-called public charter flights. These are charter airlines that sell tickets on flights with 30 seats or less. These less stringent rules are meant for charter flights without set schedules, but JSX and Aero skirt these rules by saying they don't really operate scheduled flights. Now, obviously, this is controversial, and the FAA has signaled that they might be taking steps to close the loophole. Stay tuned. Meanwhile, inside the lounge, you'll find snacks, drinks, and plenty of seating. JSX has a much larger route network than Aero's, with operations out here in the West, of course, and even on the East Coast. The coffee was flowing, along with a nice view of the airline's maintenance facility here in Las Vegas. This may be one of the only lounges in the world with a view like this. About 10 minutes before departure, we were on our way out to our aircraft. This is a 25-year-old Embraer 135, previously operating for American Eagle. Now, while Aero only puts 16 seats on their planes, JSX has 30. And on this one, it's arranged in a 1-2 configuration, although the airline also operates a fleet with 1-1 configured seats. Regardless of the configuration, it's still roomier than just about any major commercial airline operating the ERJ 135. We have 38 inches of pitch, which, while not quite as expansive as Aero, is still roomier than the major US airlines. And this flight, which is also about 45 minutes long, includes a menu and a full-sized US socket. The Wi-Fi wasn't quite as fast as Aero's, but they do offer a website with information about their service. The cabin was full, but the flight attendant still had time to offer a drink service and a basket of snacks. Now, the JebScore. Their lounge has everything you'd expect for a service like this, plus cool views of the maintenance hangar. That's 5 stars. The seats are not quite as spacious as Aero's, which means 4 stars. The food is less impressive too. They're left with 3 stars here. The Wi-Fi, that's worth 4 stars. The service was really even more impressive on this flight than Aero because the flight attendant had to serve a lot more passengers in the same amount of time. That's 5 stars here. That leaves JSX with 21 out of 25 stars.
Well, we are back in LA after that flight with JSX. What did you think?
They definitely deliver on that kind of hassle-free experience. Definitely a lot easier than flying commercial.
But it's time to talk price.
Well, a one-way flight from Van Nuys to Las Vegas on Aero pretty much always costs a lucky $777 per person. So that's what we paid. The JSX has more dynamic pricing, and we paid $459 each plus another $40 to select our seats. But we were flying on a holiday weekend, so if you're more flexible than us, you can find JSX fares for as little as $179 per person. Aero is definitely more of a splurge for a particularly special occasion, while JSX feels like a direct competitor for traditional airlines first class, just without the hassle. But don't forget, if you don't mind the hassle of dealing with TSA and LAX, you can save a boatload of cash and book a commercial flight for as little as $20 on Spirit.
Between now and the next time, see you in the sky.
Well, we're in Where are we? All right.
Is this the lamest, corniest bit we've ever done? Probably.
I take you back to the dollar store video. Uh-oh.
Start.
Oh, no, you were supposed to start.
I think you should start like that.
All right. I'll start.
Yeah. Okay. You want me to press it?
I think I pressed it.
Okay. You want me to double check?
Yeah, just double check.